It's Kevin White. Kevin decides not to run it out. The Gamecocks will start this ball game from their 20-yard line. Penalty flag already goes down. I think it was something that one of the Clemson players said, Kim.
And the call is against Clemson.
So that'll give the Gamecocks terrific field position at the 35-yard line.
You know, each year there is so much said about this game. One of the controversies this year surrounds the meeting of the two teams at the Raleigh airport. Coming home from a previous game this season, the South Carolina players claim that the Clemson players were flashing their national championship rings at them. There's always something in this rivalry.
Okay, it's Mike Hold, number 7, at quarterback. Quarterback sneak right away. He's met by the center of the defensive line for Clemson. Let's check out the starting lineups now for South Carolina. An explosive offense. Hold at quarterback. He was known as the reliever until this ball game, really. Indy and Lewis, the running backs. Hillary and Poole, your pass catchers. There's the interior line with tight end Chris Corley, who's a very fine pass receiver in his own right. Poole and Hillary, the wideouts, as Hold goes to Poole. Poole making it over the 40-yard line, where he's met by Richard Donaldson. And so let's check out the defensive alignment now for Clemson. Wells, Berlin, both Perry brothers, and Terrence Mack at the Bandit. Mack with a very important interception in this game last year to tuck it away for Clemson. Richardson and Milton, the linebackers. And a hard-hitting defensive secondary as we get set now for a 3rd and 3. Steve Berlin, number 76, on the Mike Hold, the quarterback. So Berlin, bouncing off the difficult game last week, Kim, makes the big play here.
South Carolina is going to try the option play into the short side of the field, but absolutely no running room for Mike Hold as Steve Berlin is right there penetrating in the backfield, making the play.
Reggie Pleasant is back to receive the punt by Tom O'Connor. And the barefooter gets Pleasant at the 30-yard line, spins nicely up to the 34-yard line. And the Tigers with pretty good field position on their first series. Clemson with a record-breaking passing game this year, led by Mike Epley. Rod Quick will be starting at fullback today. Terrence Flagler, the tailback. Rulack, all-ACC wide receiver, is a sophomore. And Richard Butler, a senior, at the split-end spot. Ingle, Reese, Twain, Cheatham, Ellison, Dunn. Reese on the all-ACC team this year. That's Dunn on the 1st and 10 from the 34. The tailback on the carry. Stacy Driver, and he makes it over the 35 to the 37-yard line, number 21. On the defensive side of the ball now, Sumter, Wright, Woodley, and McEntee. And that very fine linebacker on the strong side, James Seawright, Vogel, and Hill. Also the linebacking core, Major Brooks Gilliard, who had such a brilliant day against Florida State, and Taylor. Second down, 7 to go at the 37. Rodney Quick at fullback, the lone remaining running back. Ray Williams in motion. Quick finds the center of the line. Gets up to the 40-yard line. A fumble on the play. Let's see if he got it back again. Looked like he did. Frank Wright making the tackle, Kim.
This is a straight dive play, man-on-man blocking at the line of scrimmage. Rodney Quick, there you see Epley carrying out his fake. That's what Epley does so well, the ball handling. Even after he hands off the ball, he will affect the defense by his fakes.
Kenny Flowers, who has started many games at fullback, has a Charlie horse. We expect to see him play in today's game, but of course he did not start. Rulack is split to the far side. It's Boyer to the near side as Epley goes straight back on the 3rd and 4, and Stacy Driver wanted to run with that football before it actually got to him. Driver had a great game against this South Carolina team last year, and that'll bring in Dale Hatcher, all-ACC punter. In fact, the kicking game for the Tigers rewarded by Igwebuike and Hatcher on the all-ACC team. Jerry Dunlap goes back to his 12-yard line. You see him there to receive Hatcher's beautiful punt. catcher, one of the big reasons why Clemson is number 2 in the nation in net return yardage off of punting. They're 9th in the nation. So South Carolina takes over the football with 11:59 remaining. No score. We'll be back after Wade and Poole, the wideouts, and on a crossbuck type play, Watson meets Quentin Lewis. Quentin Lewis, number 9, is a senior, 200 pounds, 6 foot tall, Midway, Georgia. Number 2 rusher on this ball club, coming in with 451 yards to his credit.
And South Carolina uses the veer offense under Joe Morrison. You'll see a lot of dives, a lot of option plays. They'll throw the pass, try to get the big play sometimes to Hillary.
Bradshaw and Wade are the wideouts. The pitch back goes to Thomas Denny. Denny, maybe a gain of a yard on a play. And down on the play is number 31, Denny. Anthony Smith on the carry. So it'll bring a 3rd and 4 yards to go for the first down. Should be 3rd and 3. The ball resting just shy of the 30-yard line. 3rd and 3. Big play. Hold. Incompleted pass intended for his tight end, Chris Corley. O'Connor will have to come back into the ball game after a 30-yard punt the first try. He'll get a second one.
Well, here you see the fake dive. They straighten up, try to hit the slot man. That's Corley. The amazing thing about Corley, he's a tight end, weighs 252 pounds, but he's a great receiver.
Richard Donaldson on the coverage. O'Connor standing back at his inside the 15-yard line. Reggie Pleasant at his own 29. You see him there. O'Connor. It's a nice high floater. Pleasant has very little running room, does about the best he can with the situation. And so the Clemson Tigers once again take over outside their 30-yard line.
There are some people fired up down there on the football field, Art.
Kevin White credited with the hit. 10:35 remaining first quarter, no score. Clemson with a first down at their 33. Kenny Flowers has moved into the fullback spot now with Stacy Driver at tailback. Butler and Rulak the wideouts with Epley shouting signals. Stacy Driver. Driver gets through a little hole and gets up to the 40-yard line. A good 7-yard carry on that play. Taylor makes the tackle from the right cornerback spot. 2-year Letterman senior. Driver now 10 yards and 2 carries, Kim.
And Clemson got a good block at the line of scrimmage from K.D. Dunn, the tight end, who hooked his man. That enabled Driver to get outside. You've got 2nd and 3. That's a nice position to be in.
Driver had 110 yards and 19 carries against the Gamecocks last year, so it's 2nd and 3. K.D. Dunn comes to the near side. Driver once again goes behind Dunn's block, but he can't get the yard or half yard beyond the line of scrimmage before the middle linebacker Paul Vogel comes in to make the stop from Greenville, South Carolina. He's the number 1 tackler on this ball club, coming into the game with 141 tackles.
And South Carolina employs a multiple defense. That means sometimes they'll line up in an odd man front with a man right on the center, sometimes an even man front. They use 3 linebackers behind that defensive line.
So they got 4 men up front now with a 3rd and 3. And it looked like somebody jumped off. Penalty flag goes down and they continue to play. That was Frank Wright on the left tackle from Greenwood, South Carolina. Only a freshman. I should say a senior. He's a 3-year Letterman.
Well, Carolina's going to be offsides on a crucial 3rd and 3. They're actually giving Clemson the first down. You know, you've got a senior center in there, Dale Swing, and I'm sure he's told when he sees that penetration to snap the ball. That's exactly what he did, and they got South Carolina offside.
So Joe Morrison takes Frank Wright out of the ball game to think about it for a while, and Fitzgerald Davis, number 53, comes into the ball game. He's only a sophomore. So it's 1st and 10 at the 45. Epley fakes to Driver. Looks for Rulak. He's got him for first down yardage. Rulak at the 42-yard line.
Mike think Epley really threads the needle on this pass. It's a play pass, faking to Stacy Driver. He's going to set up. Look at the time. He's got great protection. And here's why Rulak's ACC. Look at him. He gets down after the ball. Ray Williams coming back for the ball. That was Ray Williams that time, the senior.
I saw the 5 on his uniform, and I thought it was 15. Rulak's in there now as Ray Williams makes the very fine catch. And he's only a sophomore. Stacy Driver. He's picked up behind the line of scrimmage and gets back to the line before James Sumter finally brings him down from Campton, South Carolina. This game is not only a very important game for the South Carolina team. Let's check this out first, Kim.
Well, it's the toss sweep. Sumter just isn't blocked at all at the line of scrimmage. Penetrates into the backfield. Driver's got a loss of 1. It's 2nd and 11.
Boyer and Williams are your wideouts. Flowers and Driver, the running backs, as Epley goes to Stacy once again. Nice fake. Follows a good block up to the 40-yard line. Not much yardage on the play, but well executed. Carl Hill, number 85 from Memphis, Tennessee, only a freshman making the tackle. He's number 3 on this team in tackles, over 100 tackles this year.
Well, you're right. Not much yardage on the play, but Stacy Driver did a fine job of waiting for his blocks, which enabled him to get upfield for at least a small gain. You know, South Carolina does not have a big team on defense, Art, but they pursue very, very well. They've got great team speed on defense.
Joe Morrison looks on in his 2nd season as the Gamecocks coach. 5 and 6 last year. 9 and 1 this year coming into the ballgame on a 3rd and 7 from the 39. Epley looks for the short man. He had Butler and finally finds Butler, and he drops the football. So that'll bring Dale Hatcher back into the ballgame, and the kicking game is oh so important in these close ones.
Well, so far early in this game, I'm impressed with the time that Clemson offensive line is giving Epley. He's had all day to throw the ball, but they've got some good coverage in that Carolina secondary.
Jerry Dunlap awaits Hatcher's high floater. He's got to call for the fair catch at the 13-yard line, and that's where the Gamecocks will take over. So Hatcher, who needs to average 35 yards a kick to set a record for Clemson in season punting average, and that record is 44.7 yards a punt by David Sims. Gets a short one. He'll get his chance for a long one later on in this ball game. No score in the contest. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Back to pass. And Kenny Brown, the bandit, running him out of bounds along with Kenny Danforth. But not after first down yardage accomplished. Good pass coverage that time, but Holt got to the side.
Well, Holt showing us great escapability that time. He dropped back. All his receivers were covered. He made something happen out of the play anyway, and that's a big rush back there in the hole. Gets them out over the 20-yard line where they can open up the offense.
Chris Wade is to the near side. That's Quentin Lewis, and he's tackled by Michael Perry. Michael Perry, who holds the record for tackles by a freshman. Watch him.
Well, Michael Perry, one of the great freshmen in the ACC this year, did not have one of his better games last week against Maryland, but look at the way he's starting this afternoon, penetrating way in the backfield. We mentioned that South Carolina just get out of the hole. I think Michael Perry just put him back in the hole.
Not only is that his 70th tackle, as you see on the screen, it's his 15th tackle for a loss. He has 7 sacks on the year as well to the quarterback. Hold goes back to throw. Good protection. He's going long. He's got the arm. Can the pass receiver catch up to it? Bill Bradshaw could not. He's got a 58-yarder. Bradshaw has, and Tyrone Davis was right with him all the way. Didn't have quite the angle on the toss.
Well, here you see William Perry, number 66. He's going to be double-teamed. That's the center, Tom Gardner. Also the right guard, Jim Walsh. But I like the call by South Carolina. 2nd and 20, back inside their 20-yard line, actually the 16-yard line. They go for the bomb, and even though it's incomplete, that's going to plant a feeling in the Clemson secondary that they've got to protect the deep man.
From their 16-yard line. Hold back to pass. Here comes William Perry. He can't get a hand on him, but I think that's Berlin. No, it is not.
Well, they're going to
break Crawford from the left-end spot, number 49.
They're going to blow it dead. Holt actually fell to his knee on the 4-yard line. Here we see William Perry again being double-teamed. Jim Walsh, number 77. But look at, he splits the double-team. That's where Holt fell down right there. Give that sack to William Perry on the 4-yard line.
O'Connor, who's averaged 36 yards a kick in the previous two, has his back to the wall now. Reggie Pleasant. It's a short one, but it's one of those that you got to get away from. And they touched it about the 44-yard line. So that's where Clemson will take over. David Poinsett touched the loose football as Clemson takes over. Back to pass on the 1st and 10 from his 44. He has to go down back at the other 45-yard line. Carl Hill with the good rush from that linebacker spot. Epley disgusted with himself, Kim.
Mike Epley on the play-action pass wanted to go to Terrence Rulak across the middle, but number 23, Joe Brooks, the strong safety, is covering Rulak man-to-man. Good coverage. Epley's forced to eat the ball.
So that gives a 2nd and 20 situation now for the Clemson Tigers. Flagler, good hold, nice move. Doesn't quite get back to the original line of scrimmage as he moves across the midfield stripe to the 48-yard line. McEntee makes the tackle.
Well, 2nd and 20, draw play is kind of an obvious call, but Clemson makes it work anyway. There you see Flagler right up the middle behind Dale Swing. That's the center. Makes a nice cut to the outside, and they got part of that yardage back. 3rd and 13, however, they're still faced with a tough call.
Flagler, as you see there, has averaged 5.2 yards a carry this year. Flowers, the lone remaining running back as Epley goes back. He's going long. Butler, triple teamed at the 5.
Well, Ruben Butler's looking for a penalty, Art, but looked like a good play. Epley back in the pocket, and he's got tremendous time. Look at the time he's got, the pocket holding up beautifully. He's going to let it go to Butler on the post pattern down the middle. 3 Carolina defenders there, however.
And a game of field position right now being played as Hatcher tries to put one inside that 20. It's going down to the 5-yard line. Touched. Kenny Danforth put the hand to the football. And so with no score in this first quarter with 4:10 remaining, let's pause now for this word. Dale Hatcher has put his 13th punt inside the 20-yard line as South Carolina takes over at the 6-yard line. Hold. Right through the hands of his tight end. Chris Corley couldn't hang on to it.
Well, you've got to admire both of these coaches. You know, I'd like to take the pulse rate of some of the players down there and the coaches, because here their backs against the wall on 1st down. He's trying to hit his slot man. That's 89, Chris Corley. He's the big tight end who was split out. And you know, you got to admire the call, 1st and 10, throwing the ball, but what a chance.
Hold is 1 for 4, Epley 2 for 5 in a game of ball possession and field position right now. So it's 2nd and 10 from the 6. A slight mix-up, but making yardage is Quentin Lewis. As he moves out to about the 12 or 13-yard line, Keith Williams, the linebacker, making the hit on Lewis. In 1984, there you see the offense for South Carolina, but the Clemson defense known for giving up less than 20 points a ball game. That'll be an interesting stat to check at the end of the game. Eric Poole goes to the far side, and it is Bill Bradshaw to the near side on a 3rd and 3. Hold, going to the air. And he's going long. Out of bounds. Eric Poole, the junior from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And Tyrone Davis was right with him, Kim.
Well, this time on defense, Clemson guesses right because they come up in a tight man-to-man coverage in the secondary. What South Carolina called was just a 3-step drop, a quick out to Hold's left. Clemson was up tight. They had it covered, so what Hold had to do was scramble. He's trying to go to Eric Poole, but Tyrone Davis is right on the spot.
O'Connor shanks one. It's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So Clemson has been able to keep the ball on the South Carolina side of the field. but still no score with 3:18 remaining. The Tigers have punted 3 times. South Carolina now 4 times here in the first quarter. We talked about explosive offenses, pushed by Joe Morrison's team and Danny Ford's ball club. Clemson, for instance, if they could have scored 41 points in today's ball game, would break an ACC seasonal record. Rodney Quick and Terrence Flagler, the running backs. Rulak and Butler, the wideouts. Flagler leaps for some yardage as he makes a gain of possibly 3 yards on the play before James Seawright is there to make the hit. Seawright, number 45, getting help from Tony Guyton. Let's check it on the other side now. The Clemson offense known for scoring 32.6 points a game. The defense 21.6 so far this season, allowing their opponents. Something's got to give on those stats. 2nd and 7. Williams in motion. Epley holds the ball. Goes for big yardage. James Seawright doesn't look like he's injured today. He was out of that Navy game with an injury, a sprained knee. But Epley gets great yardage down to the 15-yard line.
Well, this is the same play that South Carolina tried on their first 3rd down. It's the option into the short side of the field. Steve Reese was out pulling in front of Epley. He decided to just tuck it under, make the pitch, and he got great yardage down the sideline.
Not only that, but the tight end, K.D. Dunn, just erased one Gamecock on the far side. From the 15 with the first down. Epley, making sure everybody hears the signals. It's Flagler cutting up the center. Battling for yardage after being hit by Brian Gilliard. Gilliard has had a phenomenal year at that free safety spot. 104 tackles. He's recovered 3 fumbles as well.
Well, Gilliard is one of the hardest hitters in the country at the free safety position. Here you see the lick on Flagler, but he goes right through the tackle and manages to get good yardage down there inside the 10-yard line now.
His 3rd carry for 16 yards here in the first quarter. 2nd and 5 at the 9. Charleston and Williams. Williams is split to the near side. Epley looking to the air. But for Charleston, in and out of his hands. Incomplete.
Well, it's really fun to watch aggressive play calling. Here on 2nd down, inside the 10-yard line, it's the quick post just slightly behind Charleston, but a ball that could have been caught.
So the sophomore Charleston comes out of the ball game, and we've got senior Richard Butler and sophomore Terrence Rulak in at the wide receivers. 3rd and 5. Epley tosses back to Flagler. Flagler, great running room, touchdown! Oh, what some blocks up the middle. Terrence Flagler's 5th touchdown of the year. That's the 5th time that Flagler has rushed for scores. He's also caught a couple of passes for touchdowns this year. So that figure would be amended to 7 on the season for Terrence Flagler.
Well, field position has been a big factor so far in the first quarter. It's been all Clemson in South Carolina territory. It seemed only a matter of time before Clemson was going to be able to take advantage of the field position.
Big Boy Buike with a perfect season so far in point afters. It's up and it's good. He needs only 1 more for an ACC record. Let's take another look at that touchdown run by Flagler.
Well, South Carolina had everybody up on the line of scrimmage. They blitzed. So when Flagler gets by the initial line of scrimmage here, there's nobody back there to make the tackle, and he's able to go into the end zone standing up.
Watch the fullback 36, Rodney Quick.
Into toss sweep. Look at the move by Flagler right in the hole, though. A great move.
And Dale Sling was there to seal off the backside. So Clemson on the scoreboard first. With great field position, only had to move the ball 41 yards. Let's check that drive out. 5 plays in 1 minute and 32 seconds, capped by the 9-yard run by Flagler. Well, that might open up things a little bit now.
Well, I've just been amazed. There's been so many gimmicks in this game. Of course, Danny Ford doesn't allow his team to take pregame warm-up. I've never seen that as long as I've been associated with football. and they come out in their orange pants. South Carolina comes out in the black pants, and on first down, everybody's throwing bombs. It's a great game so far, Art.
Igwe Buike, who needs one more extra point to set a consecutive PAT record for the ACC, is now set to kick off to either Jerry Dunlap or Kevin White. White's longest is a 27-yarder, and it'll go to no one. Out to the 30-yard line is where it'll go. Here's yearly yardage totals. Look at the awesome offense by South Carolina. 441.7 yards a game, and pretty balanced. Good balanced attack by Clemson as well. Hold, his quarterback, is only 1 for 5 for 5 yards. From the 30 with the 1st and 10 on the option. He gets away from the linebacker, I believe it was Wells. No, the left end he bounced off of.
Just a strong individual effort by Mike Holt. Here's the reverse pivot. He turned to his left, but then comes back to his right. On the option, there's Jeff Wells. Mike Hold's just going to run right through that tackle, and once he gets around the corner, look at the big man, William Perry, all the way outside, though, to bring Holt down.
Quentin Lewis got a pretty good block on the defensive back, either Davis or Danforth, coming up from the secondary as well. So it'll be 2nd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Holt gets the big rush. Still on the chase. He's gone for yardage. Gets the 1st down as he goes out of bounds at the 43. So they lost leverage as Eldridge Milton was on the chase initially.
Well, Mike Holt, the quarterback, showing us why South Carolina's only lost 1 game this year. He's generally the relief quarterback. He's showing us some great athletic ability here and really some great speed. A couple of Clemson defenders miss him there. He comes all the way back to the other side of the field. He's got to want the oxygen mask right about now, Art.
Holt has had to run 6 times for 14 yards. 2 of those planned runs. He hands off this time to Thomas Denny. And Denny moves over the 45-yard line for a gain of about 3 yards on the play before Dwayne Meadows, number 84, makes the tackle. So it'll be a 2nd and 7 yards to go for the 1st down at the 46. After 14 years in the NFL, Coach Joe Morrison now in his 12th season as a head football coach. Eldridge Milton the hit. William Perry gets the securing tackle. And Holt comes down pretty hard that time. Short of the 1st down.
Eldridge Milton is going to show us why he's known as a fairly physical linebacker. You're going to see him come up and almost take Holt's head off. And, of course, William Perry, the big man with the big pursuit, is right on the spot to help make the tackle. 3rd and 2, big play here, Art.
And that's the scoreboard time clock running out at the end of the 1st quarter. It's Clemson 7, South Carolina nothing. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycoms for Gamecocks to begin the 2nd half with Ray Williams and Terrence Rulak standing at their goal line. Hagler, an excellent kicker. It'll be Williams from the 1 yard deep in the end zone, and he has not much running room, breaks to the outside at the 14-yard line. Looks like they might mark it at the 13, where the Tigers will take over.
Art, you know, in the 1st half, Clemson was able to take advantage of field position. I think early here in the 3rd quarter, field position is going to be very important and be a great factor in who wins this ball game. South Carolina started off very well, keeping Clemson back here in the hole.
Well, being one of the most heated rivalries in college football, you can expect most anything in this 2nd half. I like the way Joe Morrison put it. These are the type of games that make college football such an exciting and attractive game. And Rulak comes to the near side, Butler to the far side, Epley now the quarterback with Driver and Flowers as running backs. Driver. Can't get to the outside. After a gain of 2 yards, James Seawright from the strong side linebacker position makes the hit. Seawright is 6'2", 218 pounds, from Simpsonville, South Carolina. It'll be 2nd and 7. They'll give him a gain of 3 yards on the play from the 16-yard line. Epley looks for Ray Williams. Has to be interference. Not allowing him to get to the football. Chris Major was in a bad position.
Well, there was contact made before the ball arrived. They both looked off balance.
Oh, it's against Clemson.
And they're going to call it against the offense. I think Ray Williams actually stumbled back into the defender.
He's got to be given the path to the football, though, Kim.
Well, they both have a right to the ball, and you can't really run into the other guy, whether you're on offense or defense. Tough call, though. What it does is it puts Clemson back in the hole.
Take a look at this and see.
Epley had rolled out. Look at the shot Epley takes after he let go of the ball. They're going to call that Ray Williams falls, but boy, that's a tough call. It looks to me like Ray Williams just going for the football. Some incidental contact, very tough to say who it was on.
3rd and 14 from the 9-yard line. Butler and Rulak wide outs. The option back to Driver. Fumbles the football, but gets it back, I think. Taylor was in on that football as quick as he could after a hard hit. South Carolina's ball, they say.
Epley down the line.
Hatcher comes in to punt.
Now you see the adjustment that South Carolina made at halftime. They took away the quarterback. Number 44, the middle linebacker, Paul Vogel, had Epley. Epley had run quite a bit the first half. They took Epley away. He had to pitch. Consequently, Clemson's got to punt.
Averaging 39 yards a kick in this game. Dunlap out of bounds at the 46-yard line. K.D. Dunn made the tackle, so the Gamecocks get their first series with good field position at midfield. They might get right back into this ball game, Kim. There's your quarterback, Mike Hold, and Hold, as you see, 2 completions and 12 tries for 22 yards, but 39 yards rushing. Dendy and Quentin Lewis, the running backs. That's Dendy with the football. It's up to the 50-yard line before William Perry makes the tackle. Jeff Wells helping out on the play. Dendy now has rushed for 61 yards in only 4 carries. He had one big one in the long drive that put South Carolina later into pay dirt. Second down and 6 from the 50. Hold. It's a big rush from William Perry, and Perry won't let go. Now he has to let go, as Holt is just looking for someone to get the ball to. Throws it out of bounds. He gets popped pretty hard after he threw it, too, by, I believe, Jeff Wells.
I'll tell you, Mike Holt displaying 9 lives. He's trapped several times on this play. Always manages to get away. Look at William Perry's got a straight shot at him. He's even got his hands on him, but Holt's going to break free. Just scrambling, trying to make something happen. He does the best thing he can possibly do here. He had Dendy open, but he just didn't have time to get his feet set. And just by letting go of that ball, he saved South Carolina at least 10 yards.
So it's still 3rd with 6 yards to go for the first down. From the 50-yard line, Holt looking for Poole, and he goes to the short man instead. Eldridge Milton, a vicious hit on Quentin Lewis out of the backfield. O'Connor comes in, averaging 38 yards and 5 punts. Let's take a look at this play.
Well, Clemson's back in a zone, a pretty deep zone, so they decide to go underneath it. That's Quentin Lewis. He delayed and then just kind of dropped out of the backfield underneath the linebackers. Eldridge Milton came up, but not before Lewis dropped the ball.
O'Connor scoops it off the ground and gets a pretty nice punt away. Reggie Pleasant looking up in the sun, takes it at the 10-yard line. Gets a block by Ken Brown, but can't get around. And once again, Clemson takes over deep. With the score, Clemson 21, South Carolina 10. We'll pause now for word from your local station. This go block puts it back 5 yards deeper at the 10-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Something the Gamecock defense likes to see. Epley Safety. Tony Guyton, number 93. Look at that excited kid.
Well, if you recall in the first quarter, Clemson was able to take the lead in this game because they had field position, and sooner or later they were going to take advantage of it. That's exactly what South Carolina has done now at the start of the second half. They've had the field position, and they're turning it into points.
Let's take another look and see where the breakdown is.
Epley drops straight back, a three-step drop. It's not designed to go back into the end zone, but when he gets the pressure from Guyton, he's forced back and he's sacked along with Willie McAtee. Not only do they get the 2 points, but of course, Clemson's got to give the ball back to South Carolina.
A lot of goodies on the line in this ball game. Pro careers and a possible bowl appearance for South Carolina. It'll be Dale Hatcher to punt the ball on the free kick after the safety. 21-12, Clemson leads. That's the first safety we've had this year.
Well, it's come at a crucial time.
Thad Johnson is the short man at the 40. We've got Bradshaw on the far side and Dunlap on the near side. Hatcher will play punt, pass, and kick. No snap. ACC leader in punts. Floats one long. It'll go to Dunlap at the 19. Dunlap gets caught from behind by Kenny Danforth at the 44-yard line. And Anthony Johnson, number 23.
Well, Hatcher gets off another booming kick. But right up the middle, Jerry Dunlap, spinning, twisting. The fine return puts South Carolina into more good field position, Art.
Quentin Lewis, the ball carrier. He gets a block. Look out, he's quick. And finally, from the secondary at the 40-yard line, Lewis is hauled down by Ronald Watson, one of the finest hitters in the ACC. He leads the defensive backs in tackles with 84 coming into the ball game.
Well, here's the sweep, the South Carolina version, and Quentin Lewis just gets great blocking at the line of scrimmage and makes a great cutback on number 57, Keith Williams. That springs him to the outside.
Lewis with 48 yards and only 6 carries. First and 10 at the 39. The Gamecocks, one more.
Looks like an audible here, Art.
Hold, pitches back. Fumble, but he picks it back up again. That's Dindy. And Davis is there to secure him.
Yeah, but what penetration Kenny Danforth made this time. From his strong safety position, you're going to see him penetrate into the backfield, overcoming a block right there. He's the one that upends Dindy. Lucky for Carolina, he fell on the ball.
Tyrone Davis, who comes off 13 tackles against Maryland. One of the few highlights of that football game. 2nd and 8 from the 37. There's Hold, the quarterback. He's down at the 19-yard line. Reggie Pleasant makes the tackle. He comes up limping slightly, as you see there.
Well, he doesn't want to come out of this game. We mentioned he's been like a magician. He reverse pivots to his right, comes back, runs the option to his left, fakes the pitch out, and he just gets around the corner. Way downfield, finally, Ronald Watson makes the tackle. Reggie Pleasant in there as well. But the Gamecocks are moving, Art.
Del Wilkes. Wilkes, number 62, with a great block on that last play as they try to go up the middle, but they have no running room for Anthony Smith. Jeff Wells makes the tackle. So times get tough now inside the 20-yard line.
You know, several weeks ago, Carolina lost its best running back, Kent Haygood. At the time, he had over 550 yards for the season, but people like Lewis Dendy have filled in. done a great job, and they're moving the ball on the ground right now.
Senior Tom Gardner over the ball at center. Hold on the option once again. He gets around Milton. Finally dragged down from behind by William Perry. But a penalty flag was in the air on the far side.
Well, Clemson needs to make the adjustment that Carolina seemed to make, at least on Clemson's first possession. That is, you got to take the quarterback away. You got to stop the man that's hurting you. And so far in this half, it's been all Mike Holt keeping the ball on the option. Now here you see Chris Corley. He's the tight end. He's blocking on Jeff Wells. Wells does a good job with him, shedding the block. But just that delay was enough to allow Holt to get outside because Holt's got the great speed.
Illegal procedure, though, will take that play away for the Gamecocks and set it back to the 23-yard line where it'll be 2nd and 13. Their running game has been hot.
Clemson's got everybody up, Art.
Holt, he's got some room if he can let go. What a defensive play that time by Tyrone Davis. He was covering Bill Bradshaw one-on-one.
Well, here's Bill Bradshaw, number 12. Now, Mike Holt sees Clemson come up in a tight man-to-man coverage. He wants to hit the receiver on the quick post. There you see it, but the pressure forced Holt to scramble. Bradshaw comes all the way across the field, and there's Ty Davis reaching in at the last minute to break it up. Here's another angle, Art.
Holt is 2 for 14 for 22 yards. Good harassment by Davis on the play. So with Clemson leading 21-12, 9:40 on the clock here in the third quarter, 3rd and 13 from the 23. Holt out of the backfield, fumble or incomplete pass. They'll call it incomplete, intended for Anthony Smith. Henry Walls coming in to make the play. Walls coming off an injury. Extended knee, and Walls back in action. Good to see him there.
There you see Holt. He had plenty of time, and really, he didn't want to throw this ball on 3rd and long underneath the coverage, but he had to settle for it, trying to hit Anthony Smith. Clemson just had super coverage downfield, and Joe Morrison's going to have to settle for a field goal attempt.
Placement at the 30-yard line. That's within Hagler's reach. His longest is a 49-yarder. Good snap. Good hold. Did he pull it? He pulled it to the left. We'll check out the form with the score. Clemson 21, South Carolina 12. Here's Hagler. We'll pause now for a word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Ray Williams in motion. The pitch back. That's Flagler. Flagler, a gain of 6 yards, but a penalty flag. It could be a hold. Vogel makes the tackle on Flagler.
I'll tell you, those penalties on 1st down are drive killers. There you saw the Clemson offensive line really assert itself on that play. They got good yardage downfield, but they're going to bring it back.
.7:32 remaining, 3rd quarter. Clemson 21-12. And the ball goes 15 yards back to the 25. On a situation like this now, Kim, you can't get too greedy because you do have a 1st down still.
That's right, 1st and 22. Really, you've got to stay with your game plan. They could go option here. They could go short pass.
Brulac and Butler, the wide receivers.
Bootleg.
Epley, tight end, K.D. Dunn. Almost gets the 1st down. He's to the 46. They're going to mark it at the 45-yard line. Has to get to the 47 for the 1st. Taylor makes the tackle. Now you'll see Epley draw 2 men off, and Dunn is all alone.
Well, this is a great call. They fake the toss sweep, which is what they've been running all day. Epley bootlegs out here on a naked bootleg by himself. K.D. Dunn just slipped underneath everybody and was wide open coming across the middle.
Carl Hill, the linebacker, along with McEntee, went with the quarterback, and that left no one for the tight end. So it's 2nd and about 2. Epley. He's got the 1st down and is secured by Sumter.
Well, it looks like Epley's coming up limping. Here you see the South Carolina linebackers. They're trying to get into the gaps. And what you've got here is a nice decision by a senior quarterback. He knows where those chains are. He saw that he had enough to get the first down, tucked it underneath, and got the first down. He came up limping, Art. Let's see how he is.
He comes out of the huddle with that limp as well. On the 1st and 10, Flagler, big hole. Look at him just bulldoze through a tackler. Joe Brooks hit him first, and they put the helmet right into the center of his chest and bounced off. His forward progress goes to the 44-yard line. Gilliard made the tackle.
Well, it's a pretty good gain by Flagler, but look at you saw right there Epley handing the ball off, the pain he's in, and I'm wondering if he's going to be able to stay in this ball game. Their big play has been the option. It's got to be very difficult for him to run the option now the way he's limping.
Anthony Peretti with Danny Ford looking into the situation now on a 2nd and 2 yards to go. The handoff to the fullback up the middle, and Flowers. That's close to the first down, but I don't believe he got enough. We'll see where they place the ball.
Flowers on the carry.
It'll be shy.
And Anthony Peretti, the backup quarterback who has filled in so well at times during the season for Clemson.
Rulak to the far side, and it's Butler to the near side on a 3rd and 1 from the 43. It's a long 1 yard. The tailback, Flagler, it's getting awfully close.
I don't think he has it.
I don't think he did either. Gilliard made the tackle from that free safety spot.
And if he doesn't have it, Danny Ford's got a big decision, because they're at about the 42, 43-yard line in South Carolina territory. It's 4th down. Too long for a field goal attempt, and yet you don't feel like punting from your opponent's 42-yard line. There you see pretty good defense by the Gamecocks. Not too much movement on the right side of the Clemson offensive line. Looks like they're going for it, Art.
Kenny Flowers into the ball game at fullback. Ray Williams comes back out, so they'll probably go to the wingback situation with 2 tight ends. 4th and 1. Shotgun, yes. Penalty called. It might be delay of game.
I think what Clemson tried to do when they lined up over the ball, they just tried to draw the Gamecocks offside. They had no intention of snapping the ball. And what happened was they ran out of time. Delay of game penalty. It's going to go against Clemson. They're going to have to punt.
So Hatcher, who's punted 5 times, averaging 40 yards, back at his 37-yard line. Jerry Dunlap is back to receive that high-powering kick. Fair catch, and he gets out of the way of it. Once again, inside the 20-yard line. 24 punts. Or I should say 14 punts inside the 20 this year. Clemson 21, South Carolina 12. Let's pause for this word.
This Bud's for everyone who keeps things rolling in the mighty Mississippi.
Breakaway bars, breakaway Barford. And Ken Brown at the bandit spot. Hand off to Anthony Smith. Look at that hit by Crawford. They wouldn't let him get to the outside that time, Kim.
Well, Craig Crawford did a good job of going down the line of scrimmage, keeping his shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, making the play for no gain. Now South Carolina's got its back to the wall. After that safety, the momentum seemed to be with Carolina, but Clemson has come back to take over the momentum of the ball game now.
Williams, Johnson into the defensive secondary. Along with Delton Hall. Hold, going to the air. Got his man. Beautiful pass. Bill Bradshaw, number 12. Well, they went to the nickel defense, but they found the one receiver open.
Well, this is a beautiful read by Mike Holt. Clemson's back in a 2-deep zone coverage. 2 safeties deep, taking a half of the football field. The place to go to the ball is the middle man. That was the slot man, Bill Bradshaw. And I could tell by Mike Holt's eyes, he saw it right from the snap of the ball.
Good defense up the middle. Michael Perry, the tackler. on Thomas Dendy. Meadows comes into the ball game, replacing Michael Perry.
Halftime score, North Carolina 7, Duke 6.
Anthony Smith goes off the field out of the huddle. Danforth went for the trail man, and Holden is finally pushed out of bounds by Craig Crawford. So on the 2nd and 9,
Third quarter score.
we'll have about a 3rd and 6.
Well, here Holt is running down the line on the option play. Clemson, I think, trying to take away the quarterback that time. Holt just got great speed.
Bradshaw split left. It's Eric Poole to the near side on a 3rd and 6 from the 44. Holt gets the big rush. And everybody met at the quarterback that time. He didn't stand a chance, Kim.
Clemson came up, had everybody on the line of scrimmage. Their deepest defender was about 6 yards off the ball. They came with a blitz to the backside. Holt gets the pressure. There you see Kenny Brown. He's the bandit or monster back.
Dwayne Meadows finally got the clean hit on him, and O'Connor, who's averaged 39 yards a punt in 6 tries, comes in standing back at his 24. Reggie Pleasant will look up into the sun to catch this one. Nice job by Pleasant coming through the shadows of the light standard. And so with 1 minute 28 seconds remaining to be played, 3rd quarter, Clemson takes over the football, leading 21-12. We'll pause now for a word from you. Clemson in 3 possessions in this half. 3 plays and a punt, a safety, and in 8 plays and a punt. So they're looking for their first sustained drive. Flagler, way behind the line. Tony Guyton, number 93, who dropped the safety, nails Flagler.
Well, Carolina needs a big defensive play. Guyton says, I'm the man to do it. He guesses, he picks a gap, he picked the right one. Nobody's able to put a glove on him, and that's a big loss for Clemson.
Of course, with every defensive play like that, there's always another guy coming in on the play that draws the block away. Rushing yards here in the 3rd quarter, 1 yard for Clemson. Back to pass. He's got his man over the middle. Flagler. By Gilliard. Gilliard has now set the record for the most interceptions in a season for South Carolina. That's his 8th of the year.
Well, Mike Epley does not appear to be limping on this play. He's straight back in the pocket. South Carolina was back in a zone. He sent Flagler down the middle of the zone, found a seam in it. The ball's a little high. Flagler can't find it, but look at Gilliard right on the spot.
And Gilliard's interception gives the Gamecocks the football in Clemson territory, the 49. Pitch back, we go to Lewis. Quentin Lewis cuts inside as he's nailed after a 4-yard gain by William Perry. Henry Walls also in the area. 23 seconds before the quarter break. Clemson holding on to a 21-12 lead. There's only been a 2-point safety scored here in the 3rd quarter. Bradshaw split to the near side. And that's Quentin Lewis with the football. Gain of 2 yards. Time runs out here in the 3rd quarter. Jeff Wells is credited with the hit. With the score, Clemson 21, South Carolina 12. We'll pause again for a word from your local station. 4th and final period. With Clemson leading it 21-12. The Gamecocks with the football at the 44. It's 3rd and 5. Big 3rd down here, Kim. Hold is back to pass. Great at scrambling. Gets rid of the ball just in time and right off the hands of Quentin Lewis. Oh, he had 6 points right there. He had the angle to the far sideline and just couldn't hang on to the football.
Well, you're right. If Lewis had caught that ball, he'd still be running. Holds straight back in the pocket. Wants to go to Chris Corley, his big tight end, who was open right in the middle of the football field. But the pressure from the Clemson defense makes him scramble. Look at that, though. He comes back and hits Lewis right in the hands.
And Lewis is not known as a bad receiver. He has 11 catches for 123 yards this year, averaging 11.2 per catch. Reggie Pleasant back to receive O'Connor's punt, averaging 39 yards. Pleasant waving his hand, but the punt sails into the end zone, so Clemson will take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, a 44-yard punt. Not a bad job in a clutch situation. Mike Holt really has only completed about 3 out of 18 passes, but he's really had some hard luck this afternoon, Art. A lot of balls dropped just off the fingertip.
So Clemson, with the 21-12 lead, tries to get some points on the board here in the second half. Penalty flag goes down as Flowers goes up the middle. Another penalty flag goes down, and he'll be kicked out of the ballgame. James Sumter, who's had a good game on defense, I believe, will be asked to leave. Let's check it.
Well, James Sumter, the part we saw him kicking K.D. Dunn. Now, whether something incited that or not remains to be seen. Let's see what the officials come up with.
Williams shaking hands with Earl Johnson, a cornerback.
We've got illegal motion on Clemson. You know, it's been that kind of game on special teams. You see a lot of extra hits.
Sumter leaving the ball game.
Now, I wonder, his coach may have just pulled him to cool him off for a period. You see the play. We can't really see the action between Sumter and Dunn. Oh, now they come back, Art.
Well, they stepped off 5 and then came back with 15 for unsportsmanlike conduct.
And I think they ejected him. I think that's what he was indicating.
I think so. I think he was gone right after the official came up to him. Tony Guyton, who's had a good ball game behind him, comes in to replace him. Guyton, of course, the tackle for the safety, and a big tackle for a loss in the last series. So it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers, though, with better field position at that 30-yard line. Flowers, the ball carrier's got running room. Nice tackle that time from behind by Gilliard. You can see why he's so highly touted. Sheldon Boyer tried the block. And we've got another penalty flag down.
Well, there's a fine effort by Kenny Flowers. Just a dive play. He breaks it outside. You mentioned Sheldon Boyer. He was downfield harassing the South Carolina secondary, and Clemson does that so well. Their wide receivers block downfield so well, and that enables big plays to break. However, this time, they've caught somebody clipping. Oh, excuse me, holding.
Holding's more sensible because he actually just slipped down him on the backside. The hold might have been even before that play.
Yeah, there's no holding there. That's a pretty good block by Sheldon Boyer.
So it's 1st down still with 2 yards to go for a 1st down at the 38-yard line. The race is a fine play by this young man. Flowers. He has the 1st down and more, and another penalty comes down. I think that's a face mask. Check it out and see if we can see it here, Kim.
Well, it's a toss sweep into the short side of the field to the fullback. That's Kenny Flowers. There you see Clemson does a good job. That's Riggs on the corner blocking the defensive end. That enables Flowers to get outside. Looks like Carl Hill grabbed the face mask.
And that penalty could have hurt more than any other one in this second half. We'll see if the Clemson team now can convert that into points. They've been remarkable in converting turnovers to points this season. Griffin and Rodney Quick, the running backs. Griffin out of the eye, the tailback. And nice play up front. Seawright secured after Woodley got a hold of his leg.
Well, Woodley really got off the ball. Made penetration into that backfield, never let the play develop.
Some versatile running by the backs as far as Clemson's concerned. Flowers with 37, Driver 26, Griffin 21, and Flagler 42. Epley, whoa, unloaded to Dunn. Avoids a tackle and spins to the 40. Bravo makes the tackle from La Palma, California. He crossed the country to go to the South Carolina school.
We've seen a lot of Mike Hold's athletic ability. Here's Epley doing the same thing, a naked bootleg. South Carolina really not fooled at all. Paul Vogel, number 44, stayed at home right there on the spot. But Epley uses his athletic ability to get himself free, and he finds Dunn, and they've got a positive play. Now only 3rd and 2. Art Epley now 7 of 14, only 75 yards up.
Passing efficiency career leader for Clemson. Keeping that at the 50th percentile. Hasn't hit the long one, though, and that long one has broken up many a ball game this year. Third and 3 from the 39. Epley to throw. Rulak out of bounds. Chris Major on the coverage.
Well, Rulak only a sophomore, but he's got great concentration. We're going to see it right here. This is a great call by Danny Ford. 3rd and tight. He elects to go up top. Look at Rulak. All he's thinking about is that football. Had no chance to stay in bounds, but still makes the catch.
Hatcher, who's averaged 39 yards a kick, comes into the ball game. Jerry Dunlap back at his 10-yard line. Hatcher, as he does so well, routes it up high, but this one goes into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20-yard line. And so with the score, Clemson 21, South Carolina 12. There's 12 minutes and 22 seconds remaining to be played here in the 4th quarter. We'll pause for this word. 1st and 10 from the 30. Hold goes to the air right away. That's Bradshaw. Ronald Watson makes the hit, but not after a first down is made up at the 46-yard line. Well, Hold does an amazing job of getting away from the rush here in the second half.
Well, I think he even enjoys throwing the ball more on the run after he scrambled. That time it almost looked like he wanted to scramble. Here you see twins to the far side of the field. The wide one does the down and out, and Bradshaw just goes down and finds the open area of the zone, and Hold, when he starts to scramble, finds him.
Hold on the option. He holds on to the football. Crawford got the first hit on him. And Henry Walls from the linebacker spot comes up to hit the junior. He's 5'11" from Tempe, Arizona. You wonder why Arizona State didn't get their tongs into him.
Absolutely. You know, you can tell he just enjoys making the big play himself. That time he faked the option, just tucked it under. He's an exciting football player. 15 rushes, 56 yards.
Second down, 8 yards to go from the 48-yard line. Lots of time in this ball game left, 10 minutes. The screen set up nicely, but no receiver there. Dendy couldn't get into a position where he could catch the ball. He was held up into some blocking. See if we can see it here.
Well, he's going to sprint out.
Watch 31.
To his left, setting up over his left tackle. He wants to throw the throwback screen to his right. Dendy just can't get open. There's a big crowd over there.
Big third down, 3rd and 8. Hold. 4 men rushing. Comes back to the sideline. It is complete. First down yardage at the 37-yard line. Chris Wade making the catch. He's from Athens, Georgia, a senior.
Watch Hold now. He really wants to scramble. He doesn't want to get back and set up. He wants to move. He likes, there he goes. He's making it happen. This is when he really makes things happen now. He likes to scramble a little bit, make the defense move around, and then he delivers the ball out here to Chris Wade with really a lot on the ball, and that's a big first down.
Wade, it's caught for yardage of 183 yards before this game. Hold it. Oh, the option play again. Anthony Johnson with another fine hit.
Well, that was a nice open field tackle by Anthony Johnson. Here comes Hold. Clemson doesn't cover the quarterback. They've got the pitch man covered. Hold just tucks it under. He's got another first down for him, Art, or at least they're going to measure it.
They're going to measure for it. I believe he's got it.
He took a shot, as you can see, bending over there. He's got it.
By the length of the football. And with 9:30 on the clock here in the fourth quarter, it's a 1st and 10 Gamecocks. Terrence Rulak, the ice to the neck. Congratulations, Terrence, all ACC, sophomore year. First sophomore wide receiver in Clemson history to get such an honor. Right now, they want this football game. That's Quentin Lewis. Good 5-yard gain on the first play. Jeff Wells dragging him down.
This is the same play they ran on the goal line. They fake the pitch, trap it inside. After the reverse pivot, Quentin Lewis getting some yardage on his own. He's got his team in a position now, 2nd and 3.5.
Great trap action by Wilkes and Walsh up on that front line. 2nd and 4. Kenny Danforth. He got the hit on Dendy. Seems like every year that I've seen this matchup, it's been the big play defensively.
Well, Kenny Danforth is playing a very physical ball game. Here's the toss sweep. That's Thomas Dendy, but look at Danforth come up low, take his legs right out from underneath him. Now 3rd and 5, Art. That's a tougher call than they were looking at just a moment ago.
Ball placement at the 21-yard line.
You know, you feel with 8:21 left in the game that if South Carolina is going to make something happen and win this ball game, they've got to do it right now.
They've moved it from their own 20-yard line in 11 plays. 3rd and 5 at the 21. Hold it. He's corralled this time. What a play by Henry Walls. Also, Jeff Wells helping Henry out on the play. The left end just wouldn't budge.
The Clemson defense did everything you have to do on this play to stop the option. They get great pursuit to the outside. There's Jeff Wells. He's got the quarterback surrounded. They had the pitch man double team to the outside. Hold really had nowhere to go with the ball. Did the only thing that he could, which was eat it. He's got his team now in a field goal attempt situation.
It'll be a 41-yard attempt by Hagler, whose longest is 49. He'll be kicking against the wind. Strength, looks true. The kick is good. So South Carolina now has scored 5 points in the second half. That's been the only scoring of the second half. With the score, Clemson 21, South Carolina 15. Don't you, Kim? His decisions have been consistently good. They've been his movement of players in and out, substitution.
Well, of course, 7 and 3. They've had 3 tough losses. Clemson's had so much success under Danny Ford that when they get 3 losses, it doesn't seem like a great season, but you're right, they've had a terrific year.
And of course, the Gamecocks have had the best in their history. Fullback running time. Kenny Flowers. And Flowers over the 25-yard line. Good gain on the first play of the series. Let's check the scoring. Flagler's touchdown, then Hagler's field goal, 7-3. Stacy Driver's 1-yard run. Griffin then made it 21-3. South Carolina coming back. 5-yard run and the safety sack in the 3rd quarter. Hagler's 41-yard field goal, 21-15. That's where it is right now. The 6:44 remaining in this football game. 2nd and 4 from the 26. Hagler bounces off the man, gets the first down. My, he's had an impressive afternoon. Flowers, Kenny Flowers from Daytona Beach, Florida, got that football and just bounced off the tackler, and finally Raboon makes the stop.
Well, there you see the individual effort by Flowers. He breaks the tackle of Seawright, the linebacker, slips it to the outside, and he's got the first down.
47 yards and 7 carries for Kenny Flowers. Brulac and Butler, the wideouts, on a 1st and 10 at the 31. Epley hands it off to the fullback up the middle. Flowers again. Gets a little free dance backwards from James Seawright.
Flowers on the tackle.
So it's a gain of only a couple of yards on the play. 2nd and 8 from the 33.
South Carolina, Art, has been a team all season that has managed to come back from behind with spectacular plays in the closing minutes of a ball game. You wonder, down 20 to 15, if they've got anything up their sleeve here in the season finale.
Rushing yardage, South Carolina dominates that. Flowers and Flagler, the backfield. Flagler, the carry. Oh, look at that move, and he can't get out of the grasp of Rick Raybould. What a move before that to get the first down.
Well, a crucial run by Flagler. Terrence Flagler really making some fine decisions at the point of attack. There, he finds the hole, had to make a little swerve to his outside, which is where the hole was. He found it, got way down into the secondary.
Epley's the leading ball carrier at 75 yards, but Flagler is closing in. He's got 50 yards on the day. Epley pitches back, and Flagler was pretty well covered that time by Earl Johnson all the way.
Well, he did a good job of just hanging on to the football because Johnson really came up and stuck him.
Pick up 3 yards on the play.
Butler he just couldn't get the block they needed on the side there, and Epley had no option but to toss it back.
You know, with 4:29 left in this game, Carolina is a blitzing type defense. I look for them to take some chances now on defense. They've got to get that football back, and we may see them filling in the gaps. They're coming up right now, Art.
Charleston Williams, the wideouts. Flagler gets the football, and he makes the most of it. Good 2nd down run. 1 yard shy of the first down. Gilliard made the tackle.
Here's Terrence Flagler out of the I formation, takes the handoff. Just picking his way. He's doing a great job of finding the hole at the line of scrimmage.
He's got the speed, too, to sidestep a blitz.
Big play here, Art. 3rd and 2.
3rd and 2 from the 47-yard line. Flagler really had no place to go. Penalty flag goes down.
Well, they tried to go to the right side, and the tight end, K.D. Dunn, was offside, and consequently, he didn't make the block because he was off balance, being offsides. South Carolina penetrated on that side of the line. Carolina's going to refuse this, I believe. Here's the toss. Now look at Carolina's there waiting at the point of attack. They've got 4, 5, 6 defenders there, led by Gilliard. Now, South Carolina had the option. Do we make it 4th and 1? Or do we take the penalty and give them a shot at the 3rd down again? They're going to go ahead and decline the penalty, take the loss. Clemson's going to punt.
Hatcher averaging 39 yards per kick in this ball game. Dunlap is deep as Hatcher has Dunlap calling for that fair catch, looking up into the sun. They'll start from the 16-yard line.
Well, they've got 3 minutes and 7 seconds to go 85 yards.
Clemson 21, South Carolina 15. Hatcher's 15th punt inside the 20 this year. Holder cuts inside that time. Michael Perry had him sealed off. And Hold really had no option but to run into William Perry and Chucky Richardson.
Well, Hold gets 4 tough yards on this play. It's the option. He just takes it inside. Pays the price, but pretty good gain on 1st down. That clock's running, 2:42. They're going to have to open it up a bit. He's trying to get to his quarterback.
Almost picked off by Reggie Pleasant. It's not unusual for Quentin Lewis to throw the ball. He's thrown 9 times, completing 3 for 116 yards, or 3 for 4 rather.
Well, Clemson does a nice job of staying at home. There's the handoff and the throwback, trying to go to the quarterback. But there's Reggie Pleasant over there. Here's Berlin applying the pressure.
You know, Quentin did complete 2 passes last year in 2 tries against Clemson. Okay, everybody on the wings right now on a 3rd and 6. Hold goes straight back, 4-man rush. Berlin puts the pressure on him, but he completes it at the 40-yard line. Oh, what a catch now, and run by Chris Wade.
Well, just when it looks like Holt has run out of options, he finds somebody. There he lets it go from the pocket way downfield. That's Chris Wade, who found the open part of the zone. Clemson was back in a zone. And look at the running he does after the catch.
2 minutes, 1 second remaining in the ball game. 1st and 10 at the 45 for the Gamecocks. Look at the hole and look at the run. Quentin Lewis gets the hit from Eldridge Milton, but not before another 1st down. And I believe it'll be placed at the 29-yard line.
It's the kind of excitement South Carolina's shown all year. This is a quick trap up the middle. Clemson thinking pass. Quentin Lewis way down into the secondary. Another 1st down.
Poole to the far side with Emory Bacon in the slot. Dindy, the runner. Dindy keeping out in front of William Perry. Finally pushed out of bounds by Tyrone Davis. And look out, here come the Gamecocks.
It's amazing how South Carolina seems to utilize the run in passing situations. It's late in the game, but here they try the toss sweep. That's Thomas Dendy, who gets to the outside. And he's all the way down, inside the 15-yard line, Art. I guess he's down to the 12.
The Clemson offense has not scored in the 2nd half, with 1:24 remaining in the ball game. We've had a field goal and a safety for South Carolina. But a touchdown could tie or put them ahead. Hold goes right up the middle inside the 10.
Well, that time Clemson had everybody stacked up on the line of scrimmage, tight man-to-man coverage on the outside. Hold just tried to go straight ahead. Sometimes that's the best thing to do.
1:11 remaining in this football game. 2nd and 7. Hold the quarterback. No one on him. He comes down. The penalty flag goes down as Eldridge Milton makes the hit. Let's check and see if the block was legal, or if there was a face mask, or what was involved in the tackle.
Well, what a competitor this Mike Holt is. Down the line, straight option all the way, no fakes. He's looking for the running room himself. Look at this effort, trying to keep his balance. What's the call, Art?
Face mask right here, but I'm not. Yeah, he got a grab of it.
Well, the penalty doesn't hurt much. He was down inside the 2. They'll go half the distance.
Okay, Henry Walls makes the play call. You've got Mack, Michael Perry, William Perry, Steve Berlin, and Crawford. I should say Wells. Hold wants it himself. Touchdown. Seconds left.
Art, you know, I don't think you could have said it better when you said he wants it. Mike Holt has really shown us competitive edge today. He really wants this game.
And when the Clemson defense took his game of passing away from him, he adjusted beautifully to it. Hagler puts it up. Penalty flag.
Wait a second. This game is tied 21-all. This is a big extra point. We've got a flag down.
Illegal procedure.
Now, they didn't indicate whether the kick was good. Danny Ford, of course, would like to know, just like everyone else.
Too many men on the field. I don't think Clemson's extra man got off in time, so there'll be a penalty, and they'll re-kick it. Boy, that was an important call.
Well, the kick evidently was no good.
Was no good.
But the penalty on Clemson is going to give South Carolina a chance at the re-kick.
Just like the roughing the kicker penalty on a field goal try gave South Carolina another chance, and they scored a touchdown. Hagler gets this one up, and it is good. And he is mobbed. The Gamecocks have come back on the Tigers here in the second half to take a 22-21 lead. Touchdown now on this brave quarterback.
Well, Holt, I don't think there's any question that Holt said to himself, I'm taking this one in. He didn't really even look at the pitchman. Going to his right side. There you see the line play. Not a whole lot of surge. Pretty good defense by Clemson.
Well, they hit him at about the 1-yard line, but he just went into the end zone.
Well, now we have Clemson in a situation where they've got 54 seconds left. They've got all of their timeouts. They've got a senior quarterback who's capable of the big play. This is the extra point. Keeps his head down. This one goes right through the uprights.
He's got the school record for the most consecutive extra points in one season. It was ironic that he missed the one that the penalty was called. So 84 yards, you can't deny that fact that the Gamecocks have put it together and have taken the momentum of this second half. And we've got some, I guess, oranges coming onto the field.
Sir, oranges, there was a lot of talk about South Carolina going to the Orange Bowl after the loss to Navy. That may not be the case. But there's no denying this is a very exciting football team.
Still time to win it for Clemson as well. With Igwe kicking with a win to it, going with the win. They need a couple of big plays in 54 seconds. Williams will let this one rock. No, he's going to take it out. There was some miscommunication there.
Well, number 86, Jay Fry, Jimmy Gatlin, number 51, no miscommunication on their part. There's 86. He was downfield in a hurry.
Check out and see. Now, see, Ray Williams is at least 5 yards, well, about 3 yards deep.
Here's 86, Jay Fry. He goes right through the blocker, makes the tackle inside the 10-yard line. What a tough place to start for Mike Epley.
I'm not sure Barnett even knew he was going to run it out. 51 seconds on the clock. Epley's got to go to the air. Rulak. Oh, he dropped the ball. I haven't seen him do that all season long. That would have put him out to the 26-yard line if he'd have held on. Still 45 seconds left.
They had all the ingredients for a big play here. Epley straight back. Look at the time his offensive line gives him in his own end zone. He lets the ball go downfield right on the numbers. Rulak in between the zones just could not hang on.
Ray Williams and Butler split to the far side. It's Boyer to the near side on a 2nd and 10 from the 8-yard line. 4-man rush as Epley scrambling. He's got his man Ray Williams, and the sure-handed Ray Williams takes it to the 30-yard line. Timeout is called with still 36 seconds on the clock. Chris Major made the tackle.
Epley back in the pocket. He's going to get pressure from Woodley. Number 94 chases him out of there. He keeps his composure, though. Throws back against the grain. That's Ray Williams downfield. Out to the 30-yard line. Of course, the time stops with the first down, but Clemson elected to go ahead with 36 seconds left and call their own timeout. Now they've got 2 left.
Epley over at the sideline conferring with Danny Ford and his offensive coaches.
They've got to come with the same type play. They're really not in a position to go all the way downfield for the bomb because Carolina's going to be back deep in the zones. You want to throw that underneath type pass about 20 yards downfield into the zone. Hope possibly that a Rulak or a Williams can break a tackle and make a big play out of it.
Scott Williams and Peretti already on the sideline practicing the snap and the hold should Igwebuike get a chance to put his foot to it.
Well, that's exactly right. I was about to say it's only 22-21. Clemson's thinking field goal here. They've got one of the best kickers in the country.
Boyer to the near side. Williams and Rulak in motion. To Williams' side, and he was turned around. Williams was going the wrong way for the pass. But still 30 seconds remaining in a 2nd and 10 situation. Well, anything can happen in the game of collegiate football. Boston College proved that the other day. With the pass-catching ability and the throwing ability of Epley, anything can happen. There's Igwebuike on the sideline. 2nd and 10 from the 30. The rush is on. Gets it away, and that's too bad. He was in the open. Pat Charleston.
Well, I'll tell you, surprisingly enough, South Carolina, there's a flag down, Art, but South Carolina came with a gutsy call on defense. They didn't sit back in a zone in a prevent. They came up, had everybody up on the line of scrimmage. They blitzed. There you see some of the blitzers put great pressure on Epley. That was 85 Carl Hill blitzing from the outside, and Epley had his man open, but the pressure caused him to throw early and incomplete.
Epley has only passed for less than 100 yards in one ball game this year. He's got 98 yards in this game, 8 out of 19. He's had 1 interception, no touchdowns. And with 25 seconds on the clock, he's got a 3rd and 10. The illegal procedure declined.
Now let's see if South Carolina lays back. They've got people back now in a zone.
They just want to prevent the first down right now. It's a 4-man rush. Rulak over his head went right through the arms of Chris Major.
Well, Epley really took a shot. He's slow in getting up, but he looks all right. You know, the receivers are looking right back into that sun.
It's in a wicked position this time of year. You might have the wind with your field goal kicker, but your receivers have to look back up into it. Boyer brings the play in on a 4th and 10.
Well, that time Carolina sat back in a zone. Epley tried to find a hole, could not. If I were to guess, I would think that Carolina would again be back in a zone. You're going to see Epley try to find one of his receivers, probably in the middle of the field, in a hole in that zone.
That's Bogle jumping in and out of that defensive line. He drops back into the pass coverage. Epley's going long. He's got Rulak on the fly, too far. Chris Major on Rulak has 12 seconds on the clock. Clemson has 2 timeouts left.
Well, they tried to go for it all, down with only 12 seconds remaining. They figured just picking up a 10-yard first down wasn't going to help them much. So they throw the ball downfield. Epley straight back in the pocket.
It was a good play call and almost completed. Rulak had the edge, the inside edge, and the ball just a little bit overthrown.
South Carolina has kind of been like a sleeping giant here in the second half. They came awake late in the 4th quarter. There you see some frustration.
Hall putting the football out to William Perry as the clock runs out. South Carolina, not only coming into the ball game with their best year ever, now makes it a 10-1 season. And the first loss at home by Clemson in 27 games. So South Carolina breaks the streak. The last win here before this game by an opponent was North Carolina. And the Gamecocks, it's their year. Joe Morrison, in his 2nd season, I should say, after that 5-6 first year, has done a tremendous job. In fact, former Clemson coach and legend Frank Howard said he's been giving Morrison's name to every school and pro club looking for a coach this year. He's just too good to be at the opponents. With the final score, South Carolina 22, Clemson 21. Let's pause for this word from your local station. This is the Raycom Sports Network. Player of the game is Mike Holt, quarterback of the Gamecocks. Today's your brute day. 113 yards passing, 75 yards to the ground, but that's the most important one right there, Kim McQuilkin.
Well, Clemson shut down the passing game. They weren't able to move the ball in the air. Mike Holt took matters into his own hands, really executed the option this afternoon.